I'm going to stand here so that you're not tempted to look over at me.
I'm going to look at you. I see you.
Rolling.
Rolling. So what is the TribeVibes? Technically the name is the TribeVibe Team Talent Engagement System. That sounds too complicated, though. So basically, it's composed of three elements: me, we, and thee. So the me part, we talk about talent assessment with all the fancy online tests that we can do, and I've done a lot of them, seem to favor those who are logical thinkers, which I would like to say all of us can be logical, and yet most of us have different dispositions other than that. Some of us are logical, some of us are emotional, some of us are goal-orientated, and some of us lead. So what I found through my journey in the past 20, 25 years of doing this work with groups is that we first have to focus on me. And me from the standpoint of what is my natural disposition, and then how to identify that so that the passion can flow. When I work with groups, I use a little diagram. And I start with the concept of me, M-E. And yet it's hollow. When we start talking about me in the beginning, most of us are not clear about what is that passion inside of us. What is that core gift that I was put on this planet to get done? So we have to fill it in. We have to be able to identify it. And I lost my magic marker today. Fortunately, my wife, Phyllis, brought her lipstick. So if you'll humor me for a moment, I have to fill it in. Almost there. Yeah, I think that's better. Almost looks a little Christmassy, that's okay. So when me is passionate, the fire burns from within. That's where it starts. Okay? We don't have that. We have nothing. All this talk about team building and how we're going to be mission driven and all the rest of it. Until we identify inside of ourselves, what am I here to get done? What is the best use of that gift? That comes a little later. So if we go from the standpoint of the me, then the next level is shift to we. That's over here. We. Except we, when we talk about team building, really doesn't mean anything until we can identify mission. Why am I going to collaborate with you or you or you? And I'm not going to do that until that third element, see the three, until that third element of core values and mission comes into play. What I find is that we start to grow through understanding self, the me, and then we start to realize that some of what I want to get done in life, I'm going to have to do with other people. That shifts to a we. And yet in the beginning, the we is still very kind of about me. I'm still all about how do I utilize you or how I'm going to get what I need from him. It's not really a team, although we're playing in a sandbox. The shift to thee, this third level of we, that third aspect, is a bigger purpose. It's more than I, it's more than me, it's more than we. It's a set of core values and a mission of commonality beyond even what I want individually. That sounds kind of cosmic, and yet as I work with groups, when we talk about mission statements for companies, most of those are pieces of paper to sit on a wall. Nobody really does them. They're good marketing pieces. And the reason I believe they aren't, more than that, is because people don't internalize them. Until that mission is something that I live, that's connected to that passion inside of me, then I look for a we. I look for a team that shares in that same fire. And that fire also about what are they very good at? What's their gift? And how can I shift what I do with them towards a common mission that's bigger than either of us? That's thee. So when I started playing around with the concept that I now call TribeVibe, it was over 25 years ago when I was doing event marketing, and I would have to select team members and put them in the right seat on the bus, if you want to borrow a phrase from someone else who's done a lot of this work. And as I interviewed people for positions, I realized that there was 3 core dispositions that when I was building a team that I needed to identify. If you want to think of it when you go to a business expo, the most effective booths usually incorporate at least 3 different types of personality types. There's one out in front of the booth, the greeter. This personality is very vibrant, smiling, effervescent. It's not a salesperson. This person is all about making smiles come on other people's face. They're like an interceptor on the standpoint of attracting somebody to come into the booth. Then that moves to a second personality who's standing behind the booth, the one who is going to sign you up for the raffle. This person is the qualifier. This personality type is very logical based, trying to figure out where you came from, what are you doing, what are you going to do, whether or not you meet the different profiles that they need in order to go to the next stage. Once that's a hit, and that qualifier realizes that you are a lead, they're going to shift you off to a third person in the group, and that's the closer. The closer is that personality that says, I hunt, I'm looking for the trophy. Do you want to meet on Tuesday at 10 or Wednesday at 3? And they're like a pit bull, they don't let go. Okay, so you have those 3 personalities, and you need a 4th person because somebody has to kind of ride a herd over all this and also allow other people to take a break. Can't stand there all day long doing this. That team lead also has to be able to operate in all those 3 different dispositions. Has to be a greeter, a qualifier, and a closer. Maybe not do it as well as the other 3 because that was their core gift. And yet to steward, as I'm going to talk a little bit more a little later, and hold the mission and the core values for the team, that's my role as a steward, as a team lead, I have to be able to communicate within the vibe of my individual team members. I have to connect with them and be able to relate and translate, interpret the mission so that they can connect to it very quickly. And that was the beginning of what later became the TribeVibe and the 3 core dispositions of healer, which is that greeter, the seer, which is that qualifier, and the warrior, which is the closer. And the 4th role of steward, which is elected out of trust from the other 3. Because the other 3 had very high performance teams, don't follow people who aren't legit. They're not going to follow that game. When I work with more elite teams, it very much is that way. When we're in mediocre kind of places in life, we kind of accept that kind of lukewarm soup. When we move along and we fill in that little me, that red lipstick of passionate identification of what I'm here to get done, no, everybody on the team's got to be that way. Cut.